Hello buddy, so I'm going to do this video explaining the new system. It's going also to be used as a tutorial, but it is very early and very experimental, so it's going to be probably a very messy tutorial. So I hope people are not going to rage too much. What I'm going to show is a bit complicated and it's very early, so the process might change, might be improved or anything. But I'm sure you're gonna like what you're going to see, and this could be the very beginning of something that could be very interesting to Citywars. So let's begin. Great. So what we have now is we have been wanted for a very long time the ability to be able to create entity into the project. We are limited because on Unity you cannot create new animation. So one thing that we figured out that we could try is we could, instead of creating new animation for every time of rigging or anything, we could use already existing animation. And what we did is instead we use the rigging of the character and we try to apply it on the object or anything, and from there we try to have like the animation. So let me just show you. Okay, here I have a command which is set entity data custom race. Okay, and what it does, it's going to set this data as this block here. Okay, let me do it. And from there we also created the race 255, which in the future, if everything go as it should go, might become like the official Citywars race if it's a system that is implemented as officially. Okay. So it's very experimental what I'm going to show you today. It might break, it might explode, I might get in the end. I'm also not very good at what I'm going to do, so let's hope everything go as fine. But let me show you. As you can see right now, I have set the block, which is this one here, and I have made myself as this block. You see, right now I am the block. And the nice thing about the system is you can edit the object on runtime. Okay, so right now I'm going to Blender, I'm pressing N, editing the block. And as you can see right now, let me just move this. I can go to vertex paint, change whatever the color I need it to be. Let's say maybe blue, and I can export it back. And if I go here, reload the object, now my character is blue. Okay, and the nice thing about this is you can live edit your object. Okay, you can make goofy character if you want. Everything can be edited at runtime editing. So this is a system we have been wanted for a very long time to the project. I know people want the ability to create their very own character, but it has a lot of drawback and limitation that we have, and we are still trying to break them and see what we can do. So I'm going to do a little tutorial on how you can implement your block, and I'm going to do one at the same time, so it's going to help a little bit. I might forget some stuff. There's a lot of stuff, and it's still very early in the development. So let me put it back to yellow. This one here. There you go. Good. Oh, and one last thing. Also, the skin system is going to work on your character. So you see that my little character here can have boot, can have cloth and stuff like this. So you can also apply all your custom skin to them. Okay. Great. So now my job, what I want to do, is I want to use this block here, and I want to make it available like this one. Okay. So first of all, what I did is I created two new blocks that I call the rigging, which we have the rigging base. This is exactly the character that you have into your character. Maybe you can also a little bit edit them to make them work. Let me just change this. Like I said, it is going to be a messy tutorial. I gonna cry for the poor people I'm going to send this tutorial. But let me just change this, and I'm gonna explain later why it needs to be like this. Okay. So with the first command that you have, you can set a custom block. So I'm going to change for this one here. Okay. And see at the same time if it's working. and I'm going then to reload my race with this command here. And as you can see now, I am exactly this little character here. Okay, so you can see I have the ability to load the block, and this one is going to be the base of what we are going to use for the rigging. So I'm going to start from this one, and I'm going to apply the rig of this one, because it is the official human character that we have, to this little block here, which is a new character that I would like to implement into the project. Okay. And the other thing also that I added is a rigging head, which is going to be very useful for you later when you try to place all the air and everything, because it is quite difficult to place, but that help is going to help me into this little tutorial. Good. So first of all, I'm not going to explain how to do modeling. Sorry, give me a second. You create your character, you create your block, you create whatever you want to have into the project. Once it's done, now I'm going to show you how to rig it to make it work with Citywars. Okay. So let me just clear my mask, select both of them. Then I'm doing Control N, which is going to open both blocks at the same time. So let me move a little bit. The very practical thing that I have now is I have inside the same blend file the ability to have my character and my rig. Okay? This is exactly what I want. So I don't know where I'm gonna put myself, not be in too much trouble. There you go. Good. So I'm gonna move the object. What I like to do is I like to move it with one axis and just use Control to make sure that I have absolutely moved my character of 2 block, 3 block, whatever, just to make sure that when I need it back, I can just press J, X, and then return it back here. So I'm sure, 100% sure that it is the right place. Because if you just move it like this, oh, I don't need it, and then we want it back, it's going to be messy to get it exactly right, and certain times, certain block, you do not have access to replace the center. So this one is the right center, but sometimes it doesn't work. Okay. So the object, it is very important. Okay, I will merge my dot, because otherwise it's not going to be working when we are going to rig the character. It's not working. I try and it's not. So make sure you have merged every vertex together. And one also thing I like to do is Alt G to remove any triangle into my character. It's going to make your job much easier and you're gonna like it. So first, let's make the character in some kind of T-pose. Okay. You want your character to have this little, like every game where they have their little arm left and right, because this is going to help you to put the rigging in the right place. Okay. Maybe I can cheat a little bit. And what I'm going to do also, it will be much better if we could create our own rigging for the character, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and it's going to be a little bit awkward, but it is a way we figure out how to implement character, because we are using the default one. So you are going to see it's a bit of a mess, because if you will have your very own rigging for this character, it won't be a start, but we don't have the ability to implement animation at one time with Unity, so you have no other choice than to use this little rig and try to work around with it. Okay. We also have other problem, like by example, we done some testing and I have no other choice than to set every bone at this angle. It is very annoying, because normally when you have all your bone, it's much easier to understand what the hell is going on, but for some reason the GLTF format that we are using has the ability to force the angle, and if you rig all your character the way you want it, it's going to break everything. So we've done a lot of testing. Maybe in the future it's going to be fixed. Don't know if it's possible. Definitely will investigate about it. But right now, that's how we manage to brute force the way to do it. Okay. Great. Okay, so now we have the character, and I'm trying to remember exactly what I done the first time, because this is the second time I'm doing it, except all the million tests that we done. So what I need to do now is I want to have my armature to be single alone. Okay, so I'm going to destroy everything else about it. I will have to keep it. Can I keep it? I think I can get rid of this thing. No. Can I detach? I'm sure there is a way. I'm not sure. There you go. Duplicate, toggle. Okay, I'm going to open another one later when I need it for the UV and stuff like this. I'm just going to... Oh, wait. I think I can deselect here. Mark, view, area. No, can I? Armature. Delete. Is it working? Now if I move them, are these still... Okay, I think it worked. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm gonna have some problem later. But for now, let's hope everything works. Okay. So what I did is I removed the... Let me just return so you guys can follow too. I here go to armature and I delete the armature to make sure that both are not linked together. Let's see if it's working. Okay. Yeah, it seemed to work. Okay, so I'm not going to do a full tutorial about this thing. It's a mess, and there's already 1 million tutorial about Blender, and I'm so not the best expert about it. So make sure you have a little understanding about pose, rigging, and UV mapping. This is going to be very handy in the tutorial that we are going to do. Yep. So good. Right now we have disabled the armature from the character. I'm going to also separate the character from the armature, so now they are completely different because I'm gonna use it later to have some view about how the character should be placed on the UV. Okay, so there's two things. We have to rig the character to make sure that it's moving with the animation, and we have to UV map the character to make sure that the skin is working. Okay, you are not forced to do both, but I'm gonna try to have both at the same time on this video. Okay, great. So now if you look at it, I place my character and we can see that already the way the armature is working is not exactly the same, and we are going to have to mess a little bit to make sure that everything is working together. Okay, there is a very handy function in Blender that allow you to merge both of the armature and the block together. If I can check here and I select the object first, and then also I select the bone, I can click Ctrl P, and then I can have weight with automatic weight. So I'm gonna click on this one, and if you go here in the tool, this one. Oh, and another very annoying thing, Blender is a bit awkward to use when you are using weight and stuff like this. So make sure to always like select the bone, select the object. Otherwise, you are not going to have access to the right bone, and this is going to be make your job a lot more harder to do stuff. Okay, so you see right now that Blender did kind of a, if I can say, terrible job to link them, but it's not his fault. It's the way everything is in the scene. All the bones are on the left. Everything is weird, but we are going to recreate what it needs to be. Okay, good. So now I'm just going to export. Make sure that everything is working. Okay, so right now return to object. I'm going to, I name it armature, but it's my base. Sorry. Let's export it. Just going to double check, make sure that I'm not wiping anything. I'm going to create a new block just to keep this one in case we do some mistake. Mistake always happen. There you go. Good. 1, 8, 3. There you go. 1, 8, 3. I don't know why my tab is not working, but it only make pain. There you go. Okay, good. So let's export. Let's reload. And now we have the character with the bone assigned automatically. Okay. So if I come back here, I have like set ent data custom race, and I'm going to go back here, change 8390. Okay. And I'm going then to reset the race, so it is going to refresh my stuff. And as you can see now, I feel like like super it's Chad the character now, okay? So you see that the bone are ish working, okay? I could finish the tutorial there. I'm going to try to just show you a little bit how to get a better mix of what you are trying to do. Okay, it is very tedious, it is very difficult, so I'm not going to do a perfect job on this tutorial, but I'm going to show you how you can try to arrange a little bit more your stuff, okay? So one also issue that I realized with the first character I done is both section were separate, and if you guys are creating your own structure, I highly recommend to make sure that both of the objects are linked together, okay? It's going to stretch them, but it's going to give a little bit more of a real feel about it. You're not going to have your air floating on the air or anything like this, okay? So now let's return back to the character. The first time I done this exercise, I was stretching the object left and right, and I think it's not very right because you are going to lose sense of what is going on with the object, okay? So instead what I found that was a little bit better for me, it was to stretch the armature of the character to try to compensate with the fact that we are using the regular human, but we are stretching it on a different level, okay? So let's use one of the options here. If I go here, an option that I like to see is viewport display, and then I can activate in front. Okay, so this is going to allow me to have the bone in full time in front of the character, and this is going to make my life much easier to work with. Okay, so I think it's already done with when you are in weight tool or anything, but I prefer to activate it so I can have access to it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to position my bone in a way that it is going to be maybe I can do it later because I think it's not going to be much as long as I don't see the real thing. Okay, so let's instead go directly to the weight, okay? And let me show you how to weight. So you select your armature, you select your object, you go to the weight tool that is not there because I select inverse, right? No. What I did wrong. I did something wrong. IA Blender, you are such sometimes difficult to work with. What stupid option that I have selected? It seems it doesn't. Is it working? Oh yeah, well, I don't have my weight tool, and why so? I don't know. That's the thing. When the first time I tried this tool, I had a lot of problem because I was not capable to select my bone in real time, and that caused me a lot of issue about it. But it's just the way the tool is very awkward, and I don't know why. It's probably something very stupid. Now I have it, but why when I select the bone I don't? What? Okay, it's something very weird I have. I don't know why, so you guys probably have this little issue sometime. It's probably very stupid. I did probably something and just forget about it, but okay, anyway. So this is exactly what you are supposed to see. If it doesn't happen, just click everywhere. It worked. It's the way it is. Okay, so you select your armature, select your character, and then you go to the mod weight pane. Okay, so because you have your armature selected before, now you have access to the control button. But one very stupid thing about Blender, if you have the mask tool activated, your control is not going to work anymore. So you are going to have a very painful day now, and you will have to activate and unactivate it non-stop to make the job that we are going to do. Okay. So first of all, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use I'm going to select the head of the character, and as you can see right now, the automatic tool kind of done a good job, but it selected also a part here, and this is going to make the character a little bit weird when the head is going to move. So what I would like to do instead is I'm going to remove the weight, and I'm going to do Shift K. Is it working? No, I need to have the mask tool selected. Yeah, it's a real mess. Okay, so make sure you have the mask tool selected, A to select everything, and then you can use Shift A. Otherwise, you cannot. So that's, I don't understand how to the rigging people are doing with this tool. It's a mess. But anyway, so now what I have is I remove the weight of the character. Okay, and there is like you can go to 0 or you can go to 0 to 1.0. Okay, and what it does is it's simple. It's simply making your bone. So if I do something like this, when my bone is going to move, it is going to take every vertex about the character, and then it's going to move them left and right with the movement of the head. Okay, so you do not want your head moving your feet. Okay, that's not going to make sense, and it is going to distort your entire character, making it very, very weird. Okay, what you want instead is you want to make sure to precisely apply which section is going to be, and you can also give half variable and stuff like this to make sure, okay, when if you have a very weird character, you can have your head moving, but you can have your arm moving a little bit when the head moves. So it will be a lot of tedious time to just make sure everything is right. I'm going to do a very terrible job today at it, so let's just dive to it and make it the way it needs, okay? So right now I'm going to unselect the thing. Okay, so you see right now I'm selecting the stuff with double A, and I'm going to press L while I am inside the mask tool and selecting only the head of the character. What I want now is I want that my bone of the head only moving the head like this. Okay. Great. So now we have set the head. I'm going to do, and make sure you don't make this little mistake here. I want to select the, can I see it? Is it one? Okay, don't forget to remove the mask tool, otherwise control doesn't work. And as you can see right now, I am inside the, do we have the name? Base, I just want to make sure I'm right. No, I cannot see it, right? It's even better. So you cannot see the bone that you have selected. Can I see it? No, you cannot. Good. So anyway, you hope for the best, and I think right now I'm selecting the oh, I think no, it's a trap. Let me see. I have to go check. I think it's a trap. Can I see it? No, there's no way to see it. Yeah, I don't like this tool. Right, pivot. Can I select? Oh yeah. Wait. I can see it like this. Okay, good. So I just want to make sure that I'm not selecting, because the character has this head. Character has I'm not very good with my English anatomy. Le cou in French. So if I check ear, spine, neck. So this one is the neck. So even if it's super big, it doesn't make sense to be super big. But this one here is the neck. Okay, so make sure you do not put the neck on the body, otherwise you are going to have your character very, very weird. Okay, so I'm going right now, and I am inside the edit mode. Okay, and I'm just going to move it a little bit. Okay, normally when you see the character, you have your thing like this. Okay, they are all aligned like again, my French, colonne vertébrale, and it is like very beautiful and very thing, but for some reason we have no other choice to export it this way, so this is making also the job a little bit more messy, especially when you are not a professional rigger. So, and good. Okay, so this one here is my neck, and just want to double check the rib cage. Okay, good. So let's return to the click. Haha, there you go. Oh. So right now I'm going to select back my neck, which is, it doesn't need exactly a neck with my character because it's all fuzzy, but if you have a neck, you do exactly as I did for the head. You make sure to select the part that you need. And if you need to select some very specific area, like by example, you can use this tool, or you can just draw like this, okay? It's super simple. It just tedious to do. So let's return to the neck, and I don't want my neck to do anything. My character doesn't have any neck, okay? So selecting everything, removing it, Now let's select the rib cage. Let's remove the tool here. And what I want is I want to make sure that everything doesn't have any weight, because the automatic weight tool can be a little bit sometimes stupid, and it is going to assign some value here, and you are going to have all kind of crazy stuff going on with your character. Okay. So now it's fully removed. I'm going to unselect everything, select the body, and now I'm going to Shift K to apply the rib cage. So my rib cage is going to be 100% now administered by this thing here. But also keep in mind that you have here the, let me remove this one here. You also have the damn it, it's so complicated to say the the anatomy stuff in English, but les côtes, this is the part where you are going to move the base of the character. Okay, so you do not exactly want 100% of it. Okay, so and for that, what I'm going to do is, as you can see, we have the top here, which is selected, and I'm going to select the bottom. Oh, maybe I can just select this one. Yeah, it's going to be faster. Click, click, shift, click, shift, control, click, 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 click. There you go. And I'm going to remove this part here because I want to give it to this part. Okay. Choop. Now, as you can see, my character has this rainbow here, and what it does, it simply say that the rib cage is going to be the top of the rib cage, not exactly the right word, but the top of your body is going to be deal with this bone here, and I want, let me choose the other one, I want here, is it something selected? No. So I want this one here to have the bottom of my body. Okay. Good. This one. Okay. I want it to be 100%. So 100% of this one here is going to be controlled by this one, and 100% of this one here is going to be this one. Okay. So now the character is going, when he's doing his animation, like the human, is going to move a little bit like this. Okay. So, and I'm pretending is going to do so. When we export it, I might be very sad and cry a little bit. But you just keep trying and see which one is the best for what you are looking for. Okay. There you go. So right now I'm going to do the same. I don't want it to move the especially the shoulder of my character, and probably in your case it might be a good thing to make it move. So just keep alert that what I'm doing is not going to be applicable at 100% of what you are going to do. Okay. So, wait, vertex, paint, there you go. So let me just select everything again, removing the weight, there you go. And from there, what I want is I'm going to choose this thing here, click, 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 hey. Click, 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 good. Probably have something inside. Hello. Is it working? No. Okay. Now you're stuck. I can show you a trick when this happens, and it's very annoying. You go to your edit mode, select the piece that you want to remove. I press L, and I'm pressing H to remove it. It's not going to delete it. You can press Alt H to return it back. So H, remove it, and then you can return, if I remember well, select the armature, select the character, go to weight mode, and now it is invisible. So this is going to help you in your struggle of rigging character. And maybe, I say maybe, avoid some crocodile alarm about it. Good. So now I want my thing to be 100% controlled by this thing. Okay, good. And now I'm going to switch to this one here. Can I? No, because I have the option selected. There you go. You see this one has a little bit of blue. I'm gonna remove it. And I'm probably gonna keep on the left the automatic section, and on the right the section I done. Okay, just to show you a little bit how sometimes it's a very depending situational. and if you follow a lot of rigging tutorial on internet, they are going to show you a lot of crazy stuff that you can do with this. Okay. So what I'm doing, like making 100% of a bone operating it, it's not exactly the best way to do it. But for what I need and the way the low poly is working, it does the job for what I'm looking for. Okay. So you. Okay, and as you can see right now, I'm using like the second part of it, and I might be wrong, but I think this part, and let me show you another trick too. Okay, return into the game, reopen the basic one. Okay, and you can go check like a reference, like, hey, how is the proportion of this character done? Okay, so you can check here, and there we go. Wait, need to select both. Wait, if I click this one here, you see right now that this bone here is dealing exactly with the elbow. So what I'm doing is not exactly perfect. Okay, so I will need to change it a little bit. Let's return back to my character. So this is wrong. Whoa. Okay. Good. And again, you see the reference. It was much better weight weight change. So this is going maybe to give a very weird result, but let's give it a try this way. It's the nice thing about reading. You do it and you hope for the best. Okay, so this one here is like 100. That is not exactly good on what we want. There we go, and I'm going to give it this part at the bottom. Hello. Okay, good. Okay. So, and I assume it's the kind of system that not a lot of people are going to be very good with it, but I assume some people are going to get very good about it. And since it changed your character, I assume that there will be a lot of people who will try to make it work. And also, like I said, we are going to improve it. We are currently in a completely experimental version. Normally, I don't do video about it. Normally, I just keep it, but I know some people are very excited about it and want to know a little bit more. So I'm doing this video, even if it's currently a completely mess. Okay, good. So now you see that my arm on the left is moving more accurately on how I should expect to move it, okay? But it's floating in the air, okay? And the reason for that is because we have used the rigging, and the rigging is not well adapted to the character, okay? So for the tutorial, since the legs are moving a little bit weird, but it does is the job, I'm not going to do the entire rigging stuff. I really want to explain how it does. And you see that my character seemed to have some issue with with his gun, but that is because if you remember well, we didn't done the left part of it. Okay, so there you go. You see here, we probably have this bone here. Can you select it? No, I cannot because I'm in mask tool. You see this one here is probably have some part of it that is attached to the character. Okay, so that is the reason why. And you see, you have to tweak every little part and make sure that everything fit right and everything. So that is going to be your job to have fun with it. Okay, now I'm just going to show the basic. And now let me show you how do you fix this floating arm. I mean, if you want it floating, that's good, but that's not exactly what I want. Okay, so you go into the object mode, you go into your object here, okay, and you open it. Okay, how do you do this? You go here, you click it, or you press tab. This is going to have it. And now what you want to do is you have, and in general you try to work with both of them at the same time, and I'm not gonna do this, but you try to adjust your rigging to match the difference that you have in between. Okay, so I know that my arm are a little bit longer than what the real character is used. Okay, so I'm going to extend a little bit the armature. Okay, you can try to place it directly above it, but I think there's some perspective going on in the game, and sometimes it's not perfect. You see that my arm is a little bit lower, okay, but you see now that the length, I think I shrink a little bit the character, okay. So your job is to really like try and error, try to make it match, okay. So I do like the previous distance it was, okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower a little bit the arm, because it's important to realize that your character has in T-pose right now, but when it's going down, I think it's elbow. Yeah, now I remember it. But you have your elbow that is going to push a little bit. So if you reduce the height of your bone, you are going to extend a little bit your elbow, and you can mess a little bit with this system to make sure your character is in the right direction. And you see right now it is very, very low. So let me try a little bit higher. Yep. Oh, I unselected. There you go. And there you go. Okay. It's a oh no, that's not what I want. What? Oh, okay. Wait. I think I understand what I'm doing wrong. Okay. If I go up, I say when I go up, I'm going to move the thing. But I think if I go this way, I'm going to make it higher, right? Let's give it a try. Oh, I think I got something now. Okay, so whoa. Oh, so everything. Is it working? Yes, there you go. So go try error. See how the bone is behaving in the way your brain break and everything. But you see right now that my character has my arm, and my arm is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to extend. Did I have to extend? No, I think I have to just make it smaller because I extended it. I'm not sure. Let's give it a try. Yeah, it's very weird, but once you get used to it and you understand how it behaves, you little bit understand what the hell you are doing. Otherwise, you try and you little bit again. Hello. Oh, you can extend it. Okay, good. So let's say I have done a very good job and I have my character perfectly symmetrical. I done the feet, I done everything. I'm very pleased with the job I done. Okay. You can do the same by moving the bone up, down. You are going to move the torso height. You can also change the way the feet working. And you see right now that my feet are a little bit like this, so I should probably move a little bit back the stuff. But yeah. That's what you can do. Okay, I'm going to spend a bit more time later to make sure it's perfect in its form and people can use it. But let's do to the simple stuff. Okay. So if you check here with my first example, another thing that we have, okay, and let me show you, we have the skin of the character. Okay. So right now what I want to do is I want to also have my skin on my character. Okay. So if I go here. Let me just get my character, okay, and I select the base of the character. You see right now that the only thing that I need to tell the system that it needs to have a skin on it is use the tag underscore player skin, okay, so on the base. So this is going to apply a material. It's not going to work on the block. Maybe later it could be very cool, but it's not going to work on the block so far because we are not from the server sending block. But this is going to allow you to have your material as the player skin. And since we are using the race 255, automatically the server is going to send the skin to your character. So you are going to see your skin on the thing. Okay. So let me export. If you check right now, Alt H to put back the character, and you see right now I don't have any UV material. Okay, so I'm exporting it, and I won't see a thing. Okay, I hope I won't see a thing. If I would have seen a thing, it would be dramatical. But you see right now that you don't see anything, and the reason for that is because we don't have the UV exported. Okay, so if I go here and I go very lazy about it, and I just press U to unwrap, and then I project from view, and again I encourage you very lightly to go watch video tutorial about it. It's quite a complex. It's a very cool thing in Citywars that you don't have to mess with UV in general. But since right now we are using a skin, you will have to understand a little bit of the basic of the system. Okay, so let me get this, export, and there you go. So you see right now that I have my skin that is applied on my character, but it's very weird. And the reason for that is simply because the skin of the character is now going to be on this UV. And if you check, if I return back to this model here, which is, oh, I think I keep it in my file. Yes, I did. Good. And if you check here right now and you are looking at it, you see that the character has this very detailed UV unwrap. Okay, and you see here that this is the front of the character. This is his left side, right side, and you have, and maybe I mix them, but you also have the back, and you have the inner leg. You have the that's in French is les manches, but it's the part here, and you just have to get everything placed on the right spot to make sure that your character is going to be able to have the right UV. Can I open? Oh, I can open both of them at the same time. Okay, so, and can I just like, no, can I think there's a mod where you can see, is it? Yeah, there you go. So if I click on this one, oh, that is going to make my job easier. See, find some trick. Okay, so you see right now that I exported the UV, and the only thing that you need to do, okay, and I say only because it's a very long and very tedious job, but you can just place your stuff above the current skin, okay, the one that we keep on the left, and you are going to make your character work the way it is supposed to. Okay, one very important thing, you remember I press U to unwrap the thing, and I export the thing from my view. Okay, so if I check the UV of this thing here, by example the side, you see now it's just a simple line because we are in front of the character and we exported the thing. Okay, so there was not much to watch it. Okay, so what I like to do in general is, and this one is completely reversed because we were seeing it this way, okay, not this way. Okay, so I like to do is I'm facing the object and I'm exporting each part that I need inside the project. See this one? And I'm replacing them in the place that they need to be. Okay, so this one is going to be the back. Let's not put too much effort or time to make it perfect. I just want it to be done quick. I'm sure people are going to be happy. So this one is left side. Is that right? I'm not 100% sure. It's going to be mess if otherwise, but you give it a try. You see how it goes. Okay, and then you go the other side. Click, 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 click. Is it right? Oh, it's missing this part. Not sure if I missed this part for the other one. Okay. You place your character. You can also select every individual dot to place them better and make sure that everything is perfect, because if your stuff is not perfect, your skin is not going to align very well. So if you have, like, especially like my skin in my character, they have this square and everything, so you are going to have issue with how your skin is going to look like. Okay, so if you go here, I'm not going to do everything, but just as an example, this is the arm. I'm not sure if it's in the right direction. Click, 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 click. Project from view, shook, and I'm doing it from memory, so do not please check a little bit better than me. I'm going to share also some skin that Cube done about it that are much better for helping you to understand. So you can just like import your picture here, okay, and add it, and it's going to show in the background, so you can better understand what the hell you are doing. Okay, instead of just like placing. I do it from memory, but memory sometimes is, my memory especially is very terrible. So I deal very well in chaos, and I have no problem with it. But remembering stuff, ooh, that's very difficult. That's very difficult for me. So good. Okay. So anyway, you guys understand the concept. This is just the beginning. Let's export to see what we've done so far look like. Okay. Let me just remove the head, because the head is going to have all very weird stuff. And in general, when you go into the project, the head is always placed to 0, 0. Okay. That's also the reason why you can cheat the skin system. And if you place on 4 pixel of the skin, you can change your entire color, because everything that is not set as a UV is set to 0, 0. So that's the reason why. Great. So now let's export back and let's see the magnificent thing that we are creating. Look at that. Is it not better? Is it not better? So your job now, fix all the part that is wrong. You see, I didn't do the back, I didn't do the top. Probably, oh, the bottom is fixed, but you see there is a little bit of a miscontinuation between my skin. Let me just detach my camera so you can see better. Okay, so that's where the part where the precision that you are doing is very important. Okay, but that's the fun part. That's where rigging artists and UV artists have all their fun there. Okay, I'm not going up to have fun. I'm not a very good 3D artist. So good. So now I teach you how to get your rig functioning, your bone placement, and I teach you how to get your skin. Now what I'm going to teach you is, I just start animation, sorry. And now what I'm going to teach you is how you get your weapon and stuff like this. How do you get your head with your character? So, for example, if I go here and I redo this comment here, I'm going to change for this character. Let me change back to the race. Is it working? Oh, there you go. Okay, and as you can see right now, I have my ear, I have my beard, and I have this little weapon that I have, and I can also have a sword. And we do currently have some issue of refreshing and stuff like this. It is very experimental, so you might have some problem of stuff disappearing, or I think there is a bug also when you're loading chunk, so it is going to be fixed slowly. We are currently working mostly on a stuff, but we also spend a little bit of time on the system because I think it's a very interesting system. Okay. So how we do this? So if I go here and I open the character here, and you check, we have an empty object that is called player head. Okay, and that thing here is what allow you to have your character with an object. Okay, so I copy paste the thing. I'm gonna go into this one here. I'm adding object, object. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this object as underscore player dash head. Okay. So what it does, it tells Unity where to place all the stuff of your head. Okay. But now the tricky part is you need to tell also Blender that this object is linked to the armature. Okay, so if I remember well, because that's one of the issues we had while developing the system, we're not capable to to get it with it. Can I do just like this? Bone, is it working? Let me see. Right, relation, relative group bone. No. Bendy. No. Okay, you cannot do this. Okay, don't do this. Well, so what you need to do is you need to go to, and I don't remember. Wait, there you go. This one. So you click on this thing, you make it link with the armature. Okay, and after that, I didn't know, but there is some parent type, and what you want is you want to be a bone from this parent type, and after that you have to search for the bone that you want to be, which is a bit annoying, but to rig head. Okay, so make sure you understand your type of bone. Right now I have my object that just flip in every direction and I don't know why, but and what you have now is you have located your empty player head into the bone of this one. Okay, and if I check here, can I move it? Shoop, shoop, shoop. And you see now, if I move the head of the character, you see that the empty object is going to move with. And this is exactly what you want to do. Okay, you want your object to be part of the head, become one with the head. Okay, and now what you have to do is, again, it's a process of a little bit of error and try. We are going to export the thing, and as you can see, when you create a character, I highly encourage you to make a square character. You can do whatever you want, but you are going to have some trouble to attach content to it. You can make it square. You can make it a little bit higher, stuff like this. But make sure your head is in square shape, because otherwise, all the cool equipment that we have or anything is not going to work with your character. Okay. So if it's a simple character that is a monster or anything and it doesn't need any equipment, go for it. Create some weird shape and everything. But it's pretty cool to have your character to have all your current equipment. Okay. So this one is 183, 90. I'm gonna change my race. Okay, and I'm going to export the thing. Good, and I'm going to reload it. And as you can see right now, my head is all flipped on the side. So you have to figure out what the hell is going on. If I remember well, I think it's this one, but I might be wrong. So this way, is it like this? And I think this way. If you're asking me why the rotation is so weird, I got no idea. I got no idea. The amount of time I'm wasting time with rotation under Unity, I don't know. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. There's probably a way that we started into the project. Like, we started from a very, very early process of having all the object in certain rotation in the project, and I think it's causing us a lot of harm and stuff like this, because at a certain angle, when you mess with stuff, there is what they call, I don't remember the name in English, but certain axes can lock together, and it's give like very weird result when you try to rotate stuff. So I suspect it's this, but I'm not 100% sure. And probably one day we are going to do a full robot that change everything, like fix every object, fix everything, and after that, I hope we are going to have a little bit more of regular stuff and stuff like this. But so far now, it is experimental. We are going to do a lot of changing to it, so you will have to deal a little bit with this weird rotation issue. So you see right now that my character has the beer and have everything a little bit in every direction. One tool that I made, if you remember well, I done the rigging head. Okay, and I hope this thing is going to help us, because it is a little bit tedious to get everything right on the first try. And so what you can do is you can type /at, have your at tester, and if you press 1, you are going to have this little head, which is the head of the character. And from there, you can just change the scale of this player head, and you are going to be able to watch exactly where you want your object on the character to reach. So let me show you. Right now, what I'm going to do, scale it a little bit. Let me just, not sure if it's too much, not enough. So you export it, you try it, and I'm going to need it to do it. Oh wait. Oh yeah, it worked. So you see now that my head is it's all it's a little bit like a bug, like a dog bug. Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Let me start. Good. So that's a little bit more what I want. Let me change it a little bit again. Can I just move this one and not reload the other one? No, it has to reload everything. Okay, so you see right now that my head is a little bit better. I think it's a bit too high. Okay. Oh wait, can I? Oh wait, let me improve the tool that we have. That's the beautiful thing with Store. You can do so many stuff. Now I can make it a little bit in transparent. So I think it's going to help us to see what else is going on. Oof, it's a little bit too transparent. It doesn't have any X-ray. Oh no, it's make my job so much harder. Okay, let's forget about it. Oh wait, I got another idea. Is it working? And oh, I didn't even have on the end. That's such a fail. Let's just restart it. I was sure it was so invisible that. Is it transparent? Yeah, it's transparent. Okay. Yeah, let's keep it this way and change it later if there's other better tool. But yeah, as you can see right now, I think I should make it a little bit lower and export it back. You see now my air are much better. It's a little bit too low. Okay, a little bit too generous. Yeah, good. I'm pretty sure. Good. And too generous with the lower. Okay. You can also press shift when you are moving stuff in Blender. You can press shift and it is going to move a little bit slower. So you see right now that my character has all my air, all my stuff, and they are located on the right place on your character. And this is the exact reason why I'm telling you make sure your head is in square shape. It is going to give you much better result and a lot more stuff. You see that my my feet are so weird and everything, but let's make the artwork work that I made, like just like cutting the character and say, oh yeah, look at that, it's perfect now. So but you see the thing that you can do. Okay, so and again, right now I have the head, I have the stuff like this, and you go on and on with everything. So if I do we have some open? Yes. If I go here and you check, I have the left hand. Okay, so if I take this one and I go to my character, since we are doing only the left side, I'm going to get this one here. I'm going to take this thing and, well, what did I do? Okay, this one, click, object, bone, and I'm searching left. Remember, link of data says something about weird name. Right, left, arm, palm. I think it's the one. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the one. Okay, yeah, it's the one. Good. So you place where your sword is going to be, and I want it to be there. And for the rotation, let's check how disastrous it is later. Let's export. There you go. Chook. Character. Who the hell are you? Not the right one. Okay, good. So you see right now, I'm killing myself, which is not a good thing. I don't want to do this. I just want to be rotated like this. Okay. And if I can tips you about the rotation of your item, equip some doesn't seem to be the right angle. Did I make something wrong? Let's give it a try and see. Okay, there you go. Okay, so if I can tips you, do not use an object in your hand that is double side. Okay, so by example, this sword can be this way or it can be this way. This is going to be a mess to place the object because you have no idea which way, up, down, or whatever. So place an axe in your hand or something that allow you to see much better what the hell is going on with the placement of your object. Okay? So if you are satisfied with how it works, you see that I think I have some weird animation, is that right? Yeah, I think I should have moved a little bit my arm. There's probably some rigging that is touching the other side. You see that when you put a little more care in your stuff, you are going to have better result. And it's just a matter of taking your time and doing everything this way. So I just wanted to show the basic. I don't want to go too deep because things are going to change, and I think this tutorial is going to be scrapped. If it's not the case in 1 year and you're still watching this very complicated and very poorly executed tutorial, very sorry for it. I think it's going to give a lot of opportunity to players to create their very own character. The way I see it, I suppose it is going to be like the new future about everything. Like, for example, we can create a regular character from it, but at a certain time, what we are also going to do is probably, and I'm saying probably, is race are going to be some kind of archetype. Like, right now, this one is using the archetype human, but later you could have the archetype spider, you could have the archetype wolf. So you are starting your character as a wolf, so he's working all his animation for food, and you can have better animation for the wolf, because right now I cannot do a wolf with the human animation. It's not going to make sense, and it's going to be very, very terrible. But we can do all these archetype, and the very nice thing is, if you didn't know about the character, you know, is the human has just so much animation, and if we can focus on just very few simple archetype of animation, we can make them much, much bigger and much more detailed. So the spider could dance, it could do a lot of crazy stuff exactly like the human, and we can make sure to maintain every type of archetype as a very detailed and profound base about the project. So every thing of them could have all the same list of animation, and when you decide to do a spider, you do exactly the same process as I done, but now you create your spider. So I think it's going to give a lot of freedom to creator. It's very early in its process. We are going to improve some stuff left and right, and making sure that the workflow is much better in the future. But here you are, guys. You have the beginning of the system. I think this system was pushed on this Friday update, so I think you can run away in front of other players without crashing them. It happened this week with people teleporting to us, but I think there's some stuff that's still missing. Like, I think the skin is not going to be loaded and everything, so please, for the moment, keep this system a bit more hidden from regular players. Do not teleport to them. It might have some problem, but when it's going to be a little bit more detailed and everything, that is not going to happen, and you guys will have a lot of fun with these. So I think it's all for this tutorial. I hope it was very handy, very informative, and if you have any question, please leave me a comment on Discord. So take care, guys.